everybody, my name is Mackenzie. Welcome back to Mac in Action, and today we are going to be doing my April reset. So in this video you are going to see my cleaning montage as well as some plans that I'm making for April. I'm going to share my April goals with you and we're going to have a good time together. So I am so happy that you are watching this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. So to start, we are going to actually look back at March and talk about the highs and the lows that I had in March, and then we are going to look at what my March goals were and see if I was able to reach those goals. For March, my very first high of March was that at the very beginning of March, so I think it was like March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd maybe, Robbie and I both got to go on a marriage retreat with Buck Run Baptist Church, and it was in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and I'd never been to Pigeon Forge. The conference was wonderful. We got to see a bunch of other couples from our church that also went, which was a great time, and I just really took a lot away from that marriage retreat. We learned a lot, but we also had practical steps to take back with us. One of the more practical pieces of advice that I took from that was to chart your course or plan right now in the season that you're in for whatever season you assume you'll be in next. So for Robbie and I, that would probably be whenever we decide to have kids. So we've been asking people advice on what they wish they would have known before they had their first kid. I really enjoyed that, and while we were there, the conference was designed to give you a bunch of time just to spend alone with your spouse. Robbie and I, in some of our free time, we went to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and that was a lot of fun. We hiked and it was absolutely beautiful. I'll share some clips from that. My second high of March was that I got to spend a lot of time with friends this month, and that was just really life-giving for me. We got to go try out a coffee flight at this new coffee shop because it was March around St. Patrick's Day. All of the coffee flight was cereal themed, so there was I think there was a Lucky Charms one, Reese's Puff one, Honey Nut Cheerios one, I think a Captain Crunch one, and they were all so awesome. I also got to hang out with other friends and watch The Bachelor. The last high, which also goes with spending time with friends, was that me and some of my friends got to go to Washington DC to see peak bloom of the cherry blossoms, and I was so happy that we were able to do that because that has been on my bucket list for forever. I think next year they're transplanting a lot of the trees because they're affecting the tidal basin. It was absolutely beautiful, and we had a really good time just exploring the city, going to the National Gallery of Art, and honestly just enjoying the cherry blossoms and each other's company. So that was really good. My low of March, I didn't have a ton of lows of March, but one of them would be that my great aunt passed away, my Aunt Lee, and I just think that was really hard for me, really hard for my family and my extended family, because she was just a wonderful woman and my family is very close, so that it was definitely hard, and that was difficult, but through prayer and just the comfort of the Lord, we are getting through it. We deeply miss her, and I'm really thankful. Just like right now, what I'm looking at, we have these beautiful flowers. I have a few different ones, and I have some over there that just remind me of her, and the ones that are sitting on my kitchen table are bright yellow, and it just reminds me of the joy she exuberated when I was around her. So I'm just thankful for her life, but that was definitely a low of March for me. Now looking at my March goals, I have them right here, and we're gonna see how I did. So my first goal was to count my calories 5 times a week or more, and to be honest, I probably only did it one day in March, so I definitely did not meet that goal. You know what? That's okay. We'll try again some other time. My second goal was to do my nighttime routine each night, and I wanted this to include walking, a 10-minute tidy skincare, and reading. And I would say for the most part I met this goal. I don't think I read every night, but I definitely read more than I had been previously. So I would give myself a yes, I completed that goal on that one. My third goal was to follow my cleaning schedule, and I have a daily, weekly, monthly cleaning schedule that goes along with my Heart for Home book that I'm doing with my church. And that one I would say has been surprisingly fun to do, so I actually enjoy it and how it breaks it down into simple, doable pieces. So I got a check mark on that one. Number 4 was to do our taxes, and even though I put this down as one of my goals, it actually ended up falling on Robbie, and he did our taxes for us, but he got it done, so I guess I could check that one off too. And then number 5 was to plan my sister's bridal shower. We got it all done. I was actually got the things that I needed to do for that done prior to, so I was able to help out with other things with my mom and her as well on the weekend of, so we got a check mark for that one. Now we're gonna go on to April goals, and I wrote down some goals, but actually I was brainstorming a little bit more yesterday, and these goals weren't really like speaking to me. They weren't making me feel excited to achieve them, so I did change them a little bit. So the first one, I wanted to do something for my health, whether it was just eating better or exercising more, and so I didn't know. So what I decided to do was I counted the days until I gave myself a time limit. So kind of like with 75 soft, how you give yourself a time limit, but this one I'm going to do shorter. So this one's going to be like a month and a half. So I think it's about 46 days. I'm going to give myself 46 days, and I'm going to try my best to eat healthy, whatever that means to me. So for me, what helps is I try to be under a certain calorie, but again, if that's something that's triggering for you, like, I'm not saying that you should do this. For me, I'm going to try to be in a calorie deficit. And the second one is I'm going to try to exercise 5 to 6 days a week. I want to work out as much as possible, at least once a day if possible, but I am going to give myself a few rest days. And then I want to eat healthy. So I'm going to try to do those things. It's kind of like when I did the 75 soft, except I'm not holding myself to, I have to read 10 pages a day and I have to drink a certain amount of water a day, because I think that's just a lot of things for me to keep track of that I'm doing. But again, I am going to try to read and I'm going to try to drink my water, but I'm really just wanting to focus on the food and exercise aspect of this. So I'm going to be doing that for 46 days. So I included it in this month's goals. And then my next goal that I'm actually super excited for is that this month I want to list one thing on eBay each day of the month. And so if you don't know, I recently decided that I'm going to try a new little side hustle, and I'm going to try thrifting and flipping for a profit on eBay. I'm going to link my eBay below. You can follow along just to see what I'm posting, or if you're interested in buying anything. But basically, I have already started collecting items that I want to flip for a profit, some that I've thrifted, and then also I just got some advice to just sell things that I already owned. So some of these things I thrifted, some of these things I already owned, but I'm going to try to start posting them on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, and I'm going to try to list one thing a day. But I am excited, and I think this is a good goal for me because it's something that I have enjoyed doing, but it's also pushing me to actually not just go thrifting and spend my money on this stuff and be like, oh yeah, I'll sell it sometime, but also making sure that I at least put it out there so that it can potentially be bought. And then my last goal for the month is again to follow my cleaning schedule, and I decided to add this goal again because I really got into it towards the end of this past month. Like, I was getting in more of a groove towards the end of the month, so I'm excited for this month to see if I can do a whole month of following that schedule as best as I can. So those are my April goals. Please comment down below if you have any April goals. I'd love to hear what they are and get some ideas for May.
Good morning, everybody. So the next couple of days I'm going to be showing you just a little bit vlog style of what I'm doing to reset for April. So the first thing that I'm going to do is do my quiet time. Now it's a little later in the day because my friends and I just got back from a trip yesterday to Washington, D.C. to see the cherry blossoms. And we also stayed up super late last night watching The Bachelor. So I slept in a little bit this morning. The thing I'm going to do is make my bed, and then I'm going to do my quiet time. I got my nice coffee right here. I'll probably get a little bit of a refill, and then we'll get started. And this part of the vlog is going to be a lot of cleaning after I finish my quiet time because I need to unpack, and kind of just the house is a little messy because I have a weekly cleaning schedule and I was gone, so I didn't get to do those things. So anyways, I'm excited to bring you along with me. Going to get a refill.
I figured before I get ready for the day, I would unbox a new stone bath mat that we got. We had to get a new one because I accidentally ruined the other one. Basically, I had to get a new one, but we do love the stone bath mats. Like, they dry super quick. There's never water around in our bathroom, so that's nice. I wanted to unbox this one real quick. This wasn't the same brand because I couldn't find it, so hopefully this one works good. Oh, okay, this one has directions for what to do if it gets dirty, so I'm gonna actually keep this. Ooh, this one also says what to do if the mat gets warped on the corners, and it tells you what to do. So I actually really appreciate that, because our other one would feel like it might have been warped on the corners. I was wondering why it was so off balance. So far it looks the same pretty much. This goes on the bottom. Alright. Yes, so we just got a plain one. They had ones with different designs and stuff, but yeah, this is it. I'm gonna go put it in the bathroom and then get ready for the day. I just did a quick 10-minute tidy of the living room, and I think it looks much better. We have some paper sitting on our kitchen counter for taxes, but I'll have Robbie just deal with that when he gets home. But now I think I'm just gonna get ready for the day. I did a little bit of a quick workout on my rebounder, and then I walked my walking pad for a little over a mile, so that just felt good to get some movement in. But now I'm just gonna get ready for the day, even though it is almost 2:30, but I'm just gonna get ready for the day. I have my appointment at 4, and I'm gonna get started on the laundry as well. Hi everybody. So basically, I have a little bit of a story to share. So right now I'm at my appointment with my dietitian, and hopefully we can get some things figured out. But when I was getting ready for the day, I went to go take a shower, and I knew that some people from our apartment were going to be coming to check our HVAC, or the heat and water. I don't know. They were coming to check something that they were checking in all the apartments, but they hadn't came yet. So I was like, well, if they haven't came yet, I can take a quick shower. But of course, they come while I'm in the shower, which is fine because they can let themselves in and do what they need to do. But I was literally sitting there after I was done with the shower, and I hadn't brought my clothes in to the bathroom with me. I was literally just sitting there because I didn't know if they had left yet, and I was I didn't want to walk out there without any clothes on. So that was just kind of funny. I was stuck in there for a while. And now I'm at my dietitian appointment, and hopefully things go good. Good morning, everybody. I just got out of bed, so I didn't get up as early as I thought I would, but I at least didn't sleep in as much as I did yesterday. I have a big to-do list today for cleaning. So the first thing I'm gonna do is make my bed, and then I'm gonna eat breakfast and do my quiet time. Then we are gonna get started on the to-do list. Let's just have a moment for this beautiful table setup. These flowers are so beautiful. They remind me of my Aunt Lee. We got them after her funeral, but just so beautiful. Sometime today I need to decide, do I want this here? I previously had it there, and I didn't like it because it was just too much with the bouquet on top. So I don't know. I feel like it would be better there because the plants will get more light, but I just don't know. If you're an interior designer, leave me your thoughts. All right, so for breakfast, I am going to be having some overnight oats. Hopefully they turned out all right because I didn't measure anything. And, okay, actually, maybe they did. I don't know. But, oh, had to clean up a little mess. So here's my overnight oats with chia seeds and strawberries and milk and oats, basically. So I have this big pile of clean laundry that I need to put away, so let's get to it. I'm going to be listening to Spurgeon on the Christian Life by Michael Reeves on Hoopla.
You shall burst out into evening of soldiers.
Hi, so my hair's looking crazy, but I've gotten a lot done today. I cleaned out our entire spare bedroom, which was just so nice because that hasn't been done, like truly cleaned out. Been tidy, but it hasn't been truly cleaned out since we moved here. So I'm happy because we have a friend coming to just be clean for them. I washed the sheets in there, which I'm still waiting on those to finish because we had another friend stay with us, so I wanted them to just have clean sheets. And now I'm eating my lunch. It's colorful and beautiful. It's a Caesar salad, a cutie, and some cottage cheese because we are running out of food for this month. So, but that's okay because the month's almost over. And after this, I'm gonna plan my grocery list. All right, so I actually finished my other book, Spurgeon on the Christian Life by Reeves, and now I'm listening to Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan. I'm gonna start by cleaning off our previous calendar from March, let it dry, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to plan our meals for the month of April. Changed angles here, and I have a cup of coffee and my little Easter mug. In just a few clips, I'm going to show you my Easter decorations. I actually put them up on Good Friday, so I kind of missed the season for it, but I'm going to keep them up because they're like pretty spring colors, and I'm leaving it up for probably April. So I just wanted to show you my little mug. I'm drinking half calf. Anyways, I wanted to talk about some things that I'm looking forward to in April. So the first one is just spring weather. I love when it's like not like wet outside, but like when it smells wet. Like I don't like really rain, like, and I like when it's like cool outside, so like I can layer my clothing, but I'm not too hot and I'm not too cold. And I also, not that I hate the sunshine by any means, I love the sunshine, but I like when it's like overcast. I love an overcast day that's bright out, like bright but cloudy, so the sun's not like beating down on me. I'm looking forward to spring weather and just like the beautiful flowers outside. DC really got me in the mood for spring weather, especially because while it was a bit chilly while we were there, the flowers, that just made me so excited for spring. The next thing that I'm looking forward to in April is my birthday, and I'm actually filming this a little late, so today is actually my birthday. I also am excited for whenever we do something for my birthday. We're not really doing anything today. We had plans, kind of got changed a little bit, but we're not really doing anything today, but I'm excited for when we do something like with my friends and we go out to eat, things like that. The last thing that I'm excited for in April is my sister and I, and we're not sure who else is joining us yet, but my sister and I for sure are going to Georgia to see some family down there. My great aunt and uncle live down there, as well as a bunch of my cousins, and I haven't got to see them in a really long time, so I'm super excited to get to see them. And honestly, I'm just excited to have some time with my sister and just get to travel a little bit. That's always fun. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to in April. Now we are moving on to the content corner. I have my coffee in hand, and I'm going to tell you the content I've been enjoying in March. Then I'll tell you what I'm currently reading for April. So we're going to start with the only physical book copy that I read this month, which was Prayer by Timothy Keller. And this was so good. I highly recommend it. It's not only gives you a biblical background for prayer, but it also has historical background for prayer. So like Luther just had really good practical advice on how to pray, and I think Timothy Keller himself also gives some practical advice on prayer. You guys know I always link my Goodreads down below, so you can check out what I rated it on my Goodreads, but I'm also going to try to let you know on here too. I give this one a 5 out of 5. I thought it was very good. One quote that stood out to me was is Prayer is a Continuation of a Conversation That God Started. Now on to audiobooks that I listened to this month. The first one was Greenlights by Matthew McConaughey, and I love a good celebrity autobiography. However, I will say that I gave this one 2 stars. I had heard really good things about it, but to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I felt as though the way he spoke about some of his experiences were very interesting, but the way he spoke about them were kind of sometimes either very, very boastful, I would say. So I just didn't enjoy that as much. The thing I disliked the most about this book was that he was very flippant with how he talked about God. God seemed to be kind of made in the image of himself rather. I think that was more like just something that kind of irritated me about the book, but he had some interesting stories there, but overall it was okay. Yeah. The next one I read was Do Not Be True to Yourself by DeYoung, and I really loved this book. I gave it 4 stars. It was a really short read, and basically he went against like the normal cultural view as of today, which is like be true to yourself, like speak your truth, things like that. And he took it from a biblical perspective of how you are not supposed to be true to yourself because you're sinful and your flesh is sinful. And I really enjoyed this. I highly recommend this book. And it's super short read, so it'd definitely be worth the read. The next one I listened to was also by DeYoung, and it was called The Holy Spirit, and I really enjoyed this. I think that he gave a really good biblical basis for who the Holy Spirit is. Again, this one was a very short read. I gave it 5 stars. That one is also one you should read. And then the last one that I listened to and finished was Spurgeon on the Christian Life by Reeves. I really enjoyed this one. I love reading about Charles Spurgeon. He's probably one of my favorite saints in the faith, and I really enjoyed this one. I enjoy Reeves as an author. He's a great author, and his other books are good too, and you should check them out. I think he was very true to who Charles Spurgeon was as a person. There were 2 things that really stood out to me. The first one was he had a section in there where he talked about how it's good to be serious about your faith, and having like serious conversations can be beneficial. Having deep conversations about the faith can be beneficial, but also having just joy and laughter can be healing as well. And I think sometimes we try to separate those in the faith, but God is who gives us joy and laughter and love for life. And the second part that I really enjoyed was he was talking about how the Christian life is completely about giving God glory and how God is getting the glory for himself, and that is what the Christian life is supposed to be about. I really enjoyed that because one thing he said was that there are many churches who are basically going after numbers, yet they are not doing it for God's glory. They're doing it for their glory or their church's glory or the pastor's glory, and that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. But then he said, God calls us to be faithful, to faithfully preach the gospel, because God is glorified when you preach the gospel, whether people listen or whether they don't. And I think that is something I learned, and that had a huge impact on my life of like, God is glorified just by me rehearsing the gospel, whether the person I'm sharing it with believes it or not. And so I really appreciated that he put this in that book, because he said from a pastor standpoint of there can be a pastor who's being faithful to preach the gospel every Sunday, where there's people in his church that, and there might be people in his church that aren't growing or people who aren't being saved, yet even if no change happens in the numbers, that is more worth it because God is being glorified, and that pastor will hear, well done, my good and faithful servant, because they were faithful. I think that's something like as the American church we really need to remember. It's not all about numbers, though praise God if there are numbers like of people being saved and hearing the gospel. But if it's not the gospel, then it does not matter. If it's not bringing God glory, then it does not matter. So I really, really enjoyed that book, and I gave it 5 stars. I did want to say one more book that I had listened to this month that I stopped listening to, just to encourage anybody if they've maybe had a similar experience. So I was listening to this book called The Dachshund Wears Prada, and I did not know that it had appropriate parts in it. And when I was listening to it, I'd gotten a decent way through it, and then there were inappropriate parts, and I was like, oh, I could just skip it. And then I skipped it, and then I listened to more of it because I liked it. I thought it was a cute story, and I had no idea that was going to be in it. But when I heard it again, and because I was thinking like, oh, maybe that will be the only part, I was like, you know what, I need to stop for my heart's sake. I don't want to fall into any type of sin in that way. So I just wanted to be an encouragement to you of like, I'm a proponent of finishing books. If you start a book, finish it. But if it is something that is not glorifying to the Lord, stop. So I just wanted to include that in here because I just wanted to be real. So I was listening to that book and I was almost done with it, but I decided not to finish it, even though it would have given me another number on Goodreads. You know, it doesn't matter because my purity is more important than that. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. You do not have to finish books if they make you feel uncomfortable, if they're inappropriate. Now we're going to go on to TV shows. So a TV show that I enjoyed this month was The Bachelor. So spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, which I'm sure you have by the time I upload this, but I'm gonna give some spoilers. So basically, a few of my friends would come over, or I'd go over there and we would watch it together, and I really enjoyed this season. I thought Joey was a great bachelor. He's one of the first ones in a while that I've actually enjoyed. I thought he was just like a pretty upstanding guy, and I liked the majority of the girls. They were great, and controversial opinion, but I loved Maria. I thought she was great. Self-sabotaging queen, which she wasn't really problematic, but definitely self-sabotaging herself. I thought the parts about like with Leia and Jess and Sydney were like just crazy. Like the gaslighting was literally insane. I really enjoyed the show. I really wanted Daisy to win, but I feel like that was kind of the producer's fault because I don't think the producers really gave Kelsey the spotlight as much as they should have when her and Joey were really falling in love. So I wish they would have showed that more. But the iconic ending of Daisy rolling up with Kelsey and just holding her fellow sister's head high and then walking herself out, literally an icon. We love her. We love Daisy. So now we're going to go on to music. For music, I've been loving Casey Musgrave's new song, Deeper Well. I really like the message of that song. I feel it's like applicable for me at this time, so I really like that. And then I love Meghan Trainor's new song, Been Like This, with T-Pain, just because I love T-Pain. So her song, I don't love a lot of her songs, but I feel like they're always, you can't help but love them. Like, even though I don't like it, some of her songs, I'm like, but I have to like it because it's so catchy. So anyways, that's the music that I've been enjoying this month. Now I'm going to tell you what I am currently reading for the month of April. I don't have the books out here with me, but I am currently reading my Heart for Home book study book that I'm doing with my church, and then I'm also reading biblical theology, and I've been really enjoying that. I'm almost done with it. And then the last book that I'm currently reading is Fourth Wing. I think I might have even started that last month, but I'm just kind of going really slow through it. Not that it's not interesting, it's just like pretty daunting because of how big the book is. And like I said, I was reading a little bit more the past month, but not every night like I would have liked to. So hopefully by the end of this month I'll finish Fourth Wing, but if not, you know, it's okay. It'll be a slow read for me. Thank you guys so much for watching my April reset video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything that you want to see different in my reset videos, please comment down below. I will also link my social media below so that you can connect with me on there. I try to do some reels about my cleaning schedule that I've been doing, as well as just share some other aspects of my life on there. I always post what I'm reading when I finish a book, so I hope you will follow along with me on Instagram as well. And like I said, I also link below my Goodreads, and I will also link my previous reset videos below for you too. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this reset vlog, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.